God on the Rocks, it's not just about your faith identity though. It's also about your personal identity, who you are in the eyes of your family, and discovering who you really are and sticking with that. So, how has your own understanding of your personal identity evolved um, in your family, as a musician, and as a storyteller?
Wow. I mean, that's a gigantic question. Again, I'll start backwards. The storytelling to me is, again, you're not just telling your own story. You're really, when you're doing this, you're telling everyone's story. And but where I fit into my family, that's an evolving thing. I started out as the, the one that they worried about, started out as the clown, third born of three. And, when my brother's marriage blew up under not great circumstances, all of a sudden I became the good son. And that was really interesting. That was a burden. I haven't really written about that, but I will, I'm sure. But, so these things change. You change in the light because, you pull out it's like we all have these filters, it's like going to a play and they've got the red and the blue and the yellow and the green filters that they're lighting on things. Well, the minute you remove one of those filters, everything changes. So, for me, I was, I wouldn't call myself the bad son. I was definitely the black sheep, but the beloved black sheep. And then when my brother became the real black sheep, I enjoyed a period of being the good son for a while. That didn't really last, though, because then I went through my own divorce and stuff. Growing up in a Christian home is hard work because you have, on one hand, you have, I think, some enlightenment. You at least have this great concept of God loving you, but then you have this amazing concept of all the ways that you're going to disappoint God and all the ways you're going to disappoint your family if you don't hold up to this standard, which seems actually counter to what the gospel is saying. I mean, it seems to me I can go pretty far off the deep end if I want to, and why not? No, I'm kidding. But so, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that answers your question either. But to me, I've always been I've always been the squeaky wheel in my family, and but also kind of, sort of humored, probably tolerated, and it'll be interesting. I think my sister read the book; she likes it. She was complimentary, albeit brief. She didn't say a whole lot. She said it was nice. It was, you're a good writer, and I liked seeing things through your eyes, which is my sister's. She's fantastic, by the way, but that's her way of letting me know she didn't agree with me. At least I'm good. I may be wrong about that, but
That's fun.
yeah. So there you have it.
People got to watch out. They never know when they'll end up in somebody's book.
Well, it's funny because when I started writing, when I realized I was writing a book, and I didn't include every chapter I wrote. I did, there were some things that I felt like I needed to keep sacred and keep private, but I did write to some degree with the thought that Anne Lamott talks about in one of her books, her book Bird by Bird. She talks about, which is a book about writing, and she essentially says, if you're going to worry about who you offend, including your family people, then don't bother. And so at the end of the day, I mean, I hopefully wrote respectfully of everyone, even the subjects. There's one or two people in the book that certainly are people that I don't have positive feelings about, but hopefully I've somehow honored them. And in one of those cases, I changed the person's name you know, uh, I just, I, but that was something I did late in the game. Uh, but I thought, honor the idea that this person can have their own moment of enlightenment and not have me implying their name around the world. So yeah, writing. So there's other stuff that I'm working on right now that I'm like, you sure you want to go here? And at least for me, I do. I need to go there. Do I make it public? I don't know. We'll see. You know, that's where I think about fiction and turning a real story into fiction so that you're not totally blowing up your life.
Right. That's great.
Yeah.